Hey there everybody, Eric from Outer Limitless here with Carlos from Daily Carry Solutions. We're here day 2 at Blade Show 2021. This here is the Condor booth. Now, one of the great designers of dozens and dozens of knives for the Condor brand, Joe Flowers. I have had the opportunity to work with Joe in the past talking about bushcraft global and some of his knife designs. So here for 2021, let's see what he has in store for us. All right, so Joe Flowers, what's happening?
Up, dude?
Good to be here.
Outer Limitless in the flesh.
I appreciate it. Hey, so we've had an opportunity to work together a little bit earlier this year. So Joe, owner-operator of Bushcraft Global, some pretty significant excursions. I'd say you need some pretty good blades to go down there and get to good work, do some tribal skills, and really put your guests to some challenges. Do you have some blades for 2021 here at the Condor booth that would really tailor to some of those activities?
I think I might know a guy or have an app on my phone for that.
Nice.
Maybe.
Let's check them out.
If you take a gander over here, you can see the wonderful line that is Condor 2021. And as much designing as I do and all that, not all this stuff is my designs. We have some really cool new designers this year. Jason Breeden. All these brown micarta handle knives are by Jason Breeden. And if you've heard of him before, he's designed for Spyderco. He's designed for a bunch of different Walter Matthews, who's been working with us for a long time. He's a cool dude out of Chile. He came out with this Argyle Machete that is really, really neat. It has a bulbous handle at the end, and it has this, Celtic style. What would you call that?
It's like a laser engraving, really. It's
bling. It's got that Celtic bling on almost a Japanese style sword.
Yeah,
and you know what's super weird right now? I challenge myself to talk about other people's designs to start off with, because sometimes it's hard for me to remember all the names of all these freaking awesome new designs that we have coming out.
Yeah, this is a really cool blade. I actually had the opportunity to test this.
Right.
So Walter actually gave me his personal prototype to test it, which is really cool. And this is fantastic. It does a nice job, nice chopping, good forward weight, but it has that distal taper, so it has a real nice balance to it. And he was telling me that on the actual production model, has a little bit of a larger bulb on the back to aid in some additional purchase on the handle, and it feels great. So he did a great job with this.
Real quick, Internet, we're going to jump in here for some a skill set part. There's a bunch of different grips that you can use on a machete. You've got your normal, grip there. You've got a pinch grip, a machete pinch grip, not a chef's pinch grip. But the bulb at the end of a lot of different designs can help you do this kind of loose hand style grip. Some people might call it the pistol grip at the end, but you can have just more purchase at the end to be able to swing and get a little bit more inertia on it. Whether it's this design or a design like this. This is my design, a shotgun machete.
That's real cool.
I've never done finger grooves before, and well, not really. And I don't like toil, so breaking out of my little box here, trying to do something that's so comfortable, but find out why I had a prejudice against such features of a handle. Because the bulb on the end of the Argyle is important. The bulb on the end of other stuff is important. It turned out great. We didn't make it so pronounced, so we didn't have any blistering. But same deal. You have that ability to choke at the end.
This is wow. That's lighter than I thought it was going to be. This has a real nice balance,
dude. If you want to feel lightweight.
That's fantastic. I like it. See, I'm not a huge fan of finger grooves either, but
neither am I. But
what they did nice was it's all softened. There aren't hot spots in there at all. And I also like this little chamfer, so sometimes if you need a little alternate grip, and it aids in slimming down when you're getting on that finger choil, which is nice.
Yeah.
This is fantastic. I would love to test this.
He knows his stuff. He picked up 2 things that I did on the computer, because I do that, but not a lot of people who get out in the bush realize that. Sometimes you have a 90-degree spot right here, and it's not necessarily going to cause like blisters or anything, but if you're like me and you do a lot of varying hand grips on stuff, because I'm used to doing different stuff that down in the jungle that normal people up here don't
like
do.
you say, doing the small tasks
Right.
with a big blade.
Exactly,
right?
yeah. But I've learned this from guys who are and kids who are way better than this at me. Just watching them. But doing that's very important, and they're doing this all the time. So to be able to pick up on that, somebody's paying attention. He gets an A+.
No, it's fantastic, and even cool that you have a little bit of a fuller in there too.
Yeah, well, I mean, that makes it sexier. Just honestly, sometimes, like I said, you got to get some bling on a blade, and making a fuller on there is sexier. You know why? And one of the reasons why, on camera and on film, it makes the knife, you laugh, but it makes the knife look cooler.
Yeah.
The Rambo knife has a fuller. The Crocodile Dundee knife has a fuller because they added that on camera to make it look cooler.
You can say it looks cool, but it's also functional. It gives you a little bit of purchase in those alternate grips. It's not like it's jimping, but it gives you a little indexing point and some security on the blade. So,
exactly.
Very cool.
Now, I haven't stabbed anybody really to find out if it's a blood fuller that alleviates all the blood pressure outside your cavity of your trunk. I don't know if that works. You know, you guys can internet that, but. It's some way to make a knife a little bit more appealing.
Yeah.
I mean, the K-bar knife would be boring as crap if it did not have that huge fuller. Think about it. You just be like, oh, there's a nonchalant little Bowie knife. Okay, rant off. What you got there?
So, I guess first off, it's a bit of like a sheep's foot design.
Yep.
It is also, I would call that like a Scandi grind with a secondary bevel.
Yeah, flat grind with the secondary bevel.
So, okay.
Because it's flat, and then you go to a secondary bevel. Common Spyderco loves to do that. Tops loves to do that too. A lot of different knife companies, if you're looking for a flat grind secondary bevel, do that.
Interesting. Is this Condor's first sort of sheep's foot design? I can say.
I believe, yeah. There might be one or two neck knives out there that they've had. This is an in-house design. I did not do anything with this. This is all the guys from Condor putting their heads together and doing something just so that they can break out of their box of always making a 4-inch knife with a 4-inch blade and all that. Yep. This is the Ocean Raider.
It's cool. I noticed it has that sort of anchor,
yes.
the inlay and the pommel there. Very cool.
You know, I was just looking at the pictures, and I made a kind of a funny side comment to my boss. I'm like, did you just design an ocean knife without a lanyard? And he just goes, wait for it. And so I came here. There's the lanyard holder right there. He goes, yeah, you can put monofilament through there, so you can put a bigger thing, or you can just have, thin stuff on there for while you're working on a boat. And I was like, oh wow,
very
forgot
cool.
that he knows what he does when he fishes.
And I've seen this wire wrap on a few of their models, so it's obviously something that resounds through multiple blades, multiple models, which is cool.
Hey, why don't you guys pan over here for an interesting part? You were asking about the braid right there.
Yeah.
It's in here somewhere. Okay, so the deal with the braid, and this isn't even an Imikasa, this one is particularly a Tramontina. A lot of turn of the century machete manufacturers added this braid. Collins was one of the first ones, Collins Company in Connecticut, because the indigenous down in the Amazon region wanted to put that on there to make it look machismo, right? And so a lot of machete companies know how to do that. And so I asked them about it, and we started incorporating it into some of our designs. And so that's a variation on an old school machete handle that became integrated in that particular design.
Nice. Very cool. So, well, let me ask you, and if you know the answer,
Sure.
because this is meant to be somewhat of an ocean knife, I'm assuming this is going to be in a stainless. And Condor usually uses some sort of a carbon steel.
Right. This particular model is in 440C stainless. Now, they went with 440C because there's a lot more history with it. Instead of being the newest and greatest steel, 440C is a fantastic mid-grade stainless steel. Back in the day, it was like the S35VN50 when it came out. And it's still a fantastic, easily usable steel out in the bush.
Wow. Nice.
So this is a Griffith Bowie, Eric. This is new for this year. Welded pommel on the end. This is called a Coke bottle shaped handle, a little bit. It doesn't flare up at the end, but it's kind of that, shape of a Coke bottle. It's a longer Spanish style Bowie that we made into a tactical knife, but it also turned out to be really good in bushcrafting with that huge belly. It's quite the slicer.
This is unique. It's very interesting, and it feels great. I really like the balance on this. I like the handle length to blade ratio, and the fact that it clips out like that, has that nice belly. This is really cool. Distal taper, nice and pointy to do some detailed work. And I like that that's not overly sharp in case you need to do some push cuts.
You know what? It's wider too. You know, a lot of these, 6-inch and under knives are really, really thin, so you can't really do things like that where you're able to hold on to it. So another added benefit of a smaller, wider knife is kind of like the big knife problem, where you're able to do finer stuff with it.
Yeah.
So there again, maybe it just needs to be a super fat, tiny knife, and you're able to do everything with it. Maybe it's the width, who knows, where you're able to get all these different cuts and are able to manipulate your tool to use the environment around you.
I don't know what makes me say this, but it reminds me a little bit of an alligator for some reason.
Yeah.
It just caught my attention that way. It's kind of got that face, and then it's got that neat pattern, and that's really cool. So that's like a deep deep etching, right?
That's it became popular in a couple of different models. The Vipera.
Yeah.
If you Google that, you can see variations on where we're getting that etch from. But honestly, one of the engineers knew that I love snakes. He was like, "Joe, check this out." And they made that etch.
I told you it looked reptile.
So awesome, yeah.
That's what made me think
Vipera. The one that we have this predominantly on, Vipera, which is a genus of venomous snakes, pit vipers.
Very cool. I like this a lot, man. Nice job.
Yeah, and that same handle is on this model too, the Seagren, which is more of a SEAC style. See, it's a little bit harder to do that with the thinner blade, but every blade has its point. Oh, look, there's a fuller.
Oh yeah, good call. And a two-tone. That's really nice.
Yes.
I like that. Real cool. Beautiful.
It's that whole black and silver. It matches real well. They get kind of a mantra going there.
Yeah. Nice, man. All right. Well, Joe, as always, it's great to be here. Awesome to speak with you, man.
Absolutely.
It's a blast.
So where can I find out more about OUTER Limitless?
Oh, well, just go to my YouTube channel.
And smash that like button.
Smash that like button. Also, Instagram,
Awesome.
Facebook. So I'm out there. And hey,
same deal. Bushcraft Global, Instagram, Facebook.com. Condor Tool and Knife, Instagram, Facebook. I think we're even on Pinterest.
Nice.
So, who knows? Is
Joe?
anybody still Pinterest anymore?
They must, right?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Nice job. Thanks, man.
Hey, Rick, save that one. Don't sell that.
Don't sell it?
No.